Welcome to our love. So here we are at Rythmia, and Fridays is always the time for me to acknowledge that whoever I am interviewing, these love doves, they have been up all night.
That's true.
And still, even though they've been up all night, they are gracing us with our theme this week, which is the ritual of joy. So I've asked Anna and Zane to invoke that for us. At Rythmia, we're constantly invoking medicine and offering that medicine to the world. And so, Zane, why don't we start with you?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, up all night and here at Rythmia, and happy to be here and happy that everyone's joining in watching this. Thank you. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was the beauty of seeing my partner Anna and her transformation this week, working with the plant medicine. It's really given me an opportunity to see her strength on her own individual journey, me witnessing it from afar. I wasn't sitting next to her, which was good, so that we could each have our own experience, not influencing each other's. But there were moments actually where I definitely got to see profound transformational processes that she was going through. And then on top of that, the overall process of her strength throughout the week and her opening up. And that's been an incredible thing to witness and see and be here for her through that.
And Anna, what brings you joy in Zane?
What brings me joy, and particularly today, is that we have been able to be here together, and I've been able to get a confirmation of like how deep Zane goes into any spiritual engagement that he goes into, and working with the medicine, how he's just so good at surrendering fully. And it's been really beautiful to actually be able to be a part of that process too. So I've been really grateful, because this is our first time here together. We've been here separately. And so although you come home and you share these experiences with each other, it's nice to actually get to support each other and witness each other, and maybe also understand each other a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen it as a real an opportunity, of course, to be here, but the fact that Anna, my partner, is here with me, it's been really, like Anna said, I can access this deeper depth because there's this sense of safety in a way, familiarity with her going through that ceremonial experience together with me, which has been really nice. I think that's helped contribute to some of the depths in which I've reached in my journey and my exploration and expansion here.
Yeah, I think also even just, it's been quite lovely to just, even when I was in line to get medicine, maybe on Monday, to just know that, I mean, I saw you just sitting and like watching me because I was going through a really, really rough time, and just knowing that kind of support was there. Even though it's a very individual journey, it's really nice to start journeying together as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you shared, both of you, that you each came here separately, and now you're you've delved deep into this ritual of joy all week together. And I know that you're still processing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's give them credit. They've been up all night.
Yeah.
And so with this union, you've been together married for 11 years?
No, we haven't been married for 11 years. We've been together for 11 years and married for 4
Something like that.
or 5.
4 or 5. Where
Yeah.
are we in time and space?
Yeah, we got married in
Yeah.
2016.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this path of the medicine that has called you deeply, and each in your own right, you've committed yourself to it. How has it, again, individually and then as husband and wife, how has it even more declared your partnership, your future, all of that good stuff?
I think that, well, one of the first things that came up when we started dating each other, actually back in 2010, we were both very aware that we could individually really grow, or we could work really hard to grow together. And that was kind of like a mantra we kept going back to.
Mhm.
And so the medicine world didn't come into our lives until a few years ago.
More recently.
So for us, I think that that's just meant that we could really take that even deeper. And I think that that's what it really, it's just another depth. When you start working with your shadow sides, and when you start going really deep and working through generational trauma, and you really have to have a deep love for each other to be able to support the process, because there's not really always an end line, and sometimes you can also be in a deep process for a long time. So I think it's definitely created more space for that, and for support, and more a gentle, I would say there's been a lot of gentleness that's come into our relationship since we started doing that. Softness, a lot of because it's really deep work. And
I definitely think that coming to Rythmia, working with plant medicine, it increases your capacity to love in so many ways, and you can expand yourself, of course, but you can start to see the expansion in your partner and love, again, those kind of transformations which you get to explore, and they're subtle, and sometimes you don't see them until after the fact, but you see how the relationship becomes more just deeper, in the sense like we're more spiritually connected now more than ever. Whereas generally speaking, I think a lot of relationships exist in negotiation with each other in terms of the roles in which each person in the relationship plays. And of course, ours has that kind of surface level, logical, practical relationship. But there's deeper depths which we've been able to see through working with the medicine on our own and together, which is really incredible. We see the interconnectedness permeate so many different directions now.
I think what you said too about the roles is very important, because I definitely think that, sometimes we've needed to be each other's like brother, sister, mother, father. It's been really like this, like there's not really we've needed to support each other in the way that was necessary, and it's really become this like deeper union, really, where we just can support each other in whichever way is necessary at the time. Not always, like it's not always like that in life, but there's definitely been more, what would that word be, like there's more space for mistakes. Also, there's more space for like
I think there's
I'm
more.
going through a really like
I think there's more space for holding space for one another,
yeah
which
yeah
we've
it's
really
true.
learned through the ceremonial process that when you're going through that type of evolution, it's really important to feel safe, have a safe environment, and feel that sense of like someone's got you.
Yeah.
And you're do your thing, take your time, I got you. And the ceremonial, the plant medicine work has really helped us recognize how we just can bring that into our daily life.
Yeah, because also in these modern times, it's like the stereotypical woman and man um, is a certain way. You know, like men are the ones that are maybe more in the masculine, and we shift roles all the time. It's very fluent. So it's but gaining that understanding that we are both masculine and feminine also, and that's really something that is easily translatable through medicine work, um, gains an understanding and an ability to hold more space for the other, so that you're not just, if I'm a woman and really needing Zane to be in his masculine, and but it doesn't really always work like that, you know. It's really like more like this dance of like, well, what is our union needing at the moment, and right now I might be more in the progressive masculine, and Zane might go through a really soft, like gentle something else, and that way we can balance each other out without getting upset or feeling lack or yeah.
You know, I've danced with both of you in many different scenarios, not just here at Rythmia. And one thing that I could speak to that is very touching to me is your communication, and it's golden. I really feel that the communication in the way that you hold each other accountable is profound. And sometimes even in the silent moments that both we had yesterday and just even sitting here prior to going live with you, there was a little bit of silence. I felt that was in itself communication. That was it's beyond words, the connection. So
Yeah, we're very fortunate, and we've had 11 years to work on it, which is a good time to practice.
Yes.
For sure. But the interesting thing about that is how many lives we've lived just in that time.
So that might be actually something worth touching upon too, because if you keep holding each other accountable for who you used to be, it just doesn't work.
Right.
And so it can be really you almost go through all these different deaths when you're in a long-term relationships, because you have to be okay with losing that part of yourself that was in love with this version of this person, and then slowly, like actually be okay with like mourning that process or going through that process. But also you can't hold someone well, we're definitely very aware that like we can't hold each other to who we used to be. And I think that's sometimes what can happen in relationship and in these sacred unions, that or people who want to be in sacred unions, but they also like are so comfortable in who they are when they're with this person as they are now. And that can be hard to translate. So it's really like a matter of really,
or maybe they're so attached to the idea of what they want, they can't let in and see maybe what they have, or
scared that they can't, like this dream of like whatever, living in the suburbs and like having 3 children and like whatever it might be. And that was kind of what you signed up for when you started dating this person. All of a sudden this person's totally different and the dreams are different, and well, I mean, that's at least what we've been like. Okay,
I never signed up for the suburbs.
No, I definitely didn't either.
So let's get really raw right now. This week at Rythmia, what have you tracked within each other? And I know, again, we're still in process. What have you tracked that has been a death and a rebirth that you can track in each other?
Well, I think that the death that I've seen Zane go through, or and again, it's really like I might answer differently in a week,
Of course.
but I think has been this ability to just one thing that I remember you were going through was like um, surrender to feeling your way through life instead of thinking your way through life, and that's been something that has been a big thing in for Zane because um, that's definitely more me. I work a little bit more from my gut brain and my heart brain when I make decisions, and where Zane is more strategic and working from his head brain. And so that's been tough because sometimes that those two doesn't like sometimes we will not be able to understand what each other are the choices that we each other are making.
Yeah.
And but it's also been great because sometimes we then kind of it sometimes just is an equation that just makes sense, you know, because I might contribute in one way and Zane in another. So the one thing that you said after one of the ceremonies was that the medicine really showed you how you really need to you need to just be thinking from your intuition and really strengthen that muscle.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's definitely been a huge one that I'm interested in seeing how progresses, and
Yeah, me too.
also because also for me because it always like when you're in a partnership, um, instantly you kind of balance each other out. You just go for what's needed in that union. This was my opinion at least. So we'll see what that means.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, and Anna's big breakthrough. There's been many this week, but the I would say the big one came last night in the Thursday night ceremony, and we haven't had too much of a chance to talk about it because I can tell she's still integrating the experience, but it's very clear to me, and I think kind of many of the people in ceremony, um, you know, you, you kind of become brothers and sisters with all the people your week at Rythmia. So, but one of that breakthrough definitely is that she was able to release a lot of um, energetic tension that for whatever reason she's felt this inner responsibility maybe to carry, and it's stuff that wasn't hers. It's energetic drama from generational stuff with family, and everyone has that to varying degrees, but I definitely feel like today she's lighter and it came through and released. So that's amazing. That's a great way to leave the week and end the week.
Amazing. So I have been tracking this couple, and there is breakthroughs and new beginnings and quests for more. And that's the beauty of being here at Rythmia. Whether you come here as a married couple or you come here as a single, wonderful person, it's just there's always something new to be birthed. And so I'm so grateful that you being up all night made it so that you can come here and share your breakthroughs.
Yeah.
Really special.
I'm really happy we went here together.
Yeah.
Really happy. And I'm also really happy that we did it separately.
Yes.
First two
Yeah.
times.
Yeah. It worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
Yay, beautiful. So is there any last wisdom that you would like to share before we say goodbye and send people off on their own ritual of joy?
Well, if we're talking about sacred partnerships, I would definitely say that my best advice to other people who are thinking about going into medicine work with their partner, or deepening their union, I would say that it's really also a matter of like we have this tendency in the spiritual community to like be wanting to go on this internal journey, and it's very individual, and at some point you actually, in my opinion, have to invite your partner in and make space for someone to see you in those raw stages in order to grow with them and see all the ugly and see all the process and see all that stuff. Yeah.
And then be there to support them in the aftermath of whatever that transformation is, the integration, and again, kind of that holding space for your partner, even if it's maybe they're going through a period of time where they're not their normal self, where maybe they're just needing to be more withdrawn because of that transformation. It's like you're growing, you're expanding out of your shell. It's really important to be able to support each other in that sort of integration stage, and then you learn that echoes in life with all kinds of relationships and experiences.
So beautiful. Well, I'm so happy that we got a chance to even more deepen into your personal journeys and your relationship. And I know that you are both returning home in a new way.
For sure.
Yeah, we're super grateful.
Let the integration begin.
Yeah,
Exactly.
We're so grateful.
Wonderful. Thank you, everyone, for joining. See you next Friday with so much love. Bye.